August 13th, 2025. A date that will be remembered for its stillness, a day when the world seemed to stop turning, if only for a moment. Anchorage, Alaska is eerily quiet. The usual hum of life has faded, replaced by an uneasy calm that blankets the city. The roar of jet engines is gone, replaced by a profound, unsettling silence. The runways, once alive with movement, now stretch empty beneath the rising sun. Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport, usually a global crossroads, is now deserted. Its vast halls echo with memories of travelers who once hurried through. Departure boards show only one message: every flight canceled, every journey halted before it could begin. The silence is heavy, a world holding its breath. Each empty seat and vacant corridor amplifies the sense of waiting. Sunlight streams through empty terminals. The footsteps of security patrols echo in the stillness, a reminder that life continues, but only just. Every inch of this vital hub is locked down due to a serious classified security threat. The usual openness is replaced by barriers and guarded checkpoints. Outside, parking lots are full, but drop-off lanes are empty. No taxis, no shuttles, no hurried goodbyes or joyful reunions. The scent of jet fuel is replaced by the crisp Alaskan air, nature quietly reclaiming the space, as if the land itself is pausing to listen. The stillness feels fragile, temporary, and deeply unnerving. Dust motes drift in the sunlight, marking time in a place built for movement. For Anchorage, this is personal. The city's heartbeat is tied to the airport, and its silence is felt in every home. Thousands depend on the airport for their livelihoods. Pilots, baggage handlers, shopkeepers, all left in limbo, their routines upended. Now they wait at home, watching the news, feeling isolated from the world. The uncertainty is as heavy as the silence itself. The airport is more than a workplace. It's Alaska's link to everywhere else. It's the artery that connects this remote state to the rest of the globe. Its shutdown brings a new, frightening sense of isolation. The vast distances of Alaska feel even greater, the world farther away than ever. The Great Alaskan Stillness is not just an operational pause, it's a crisis. The infrastructure stands ready, but unused, a symbol of uncertainty. The silence is a silent alarm, ringing out from the top of the world. It's a warning, a question, and a plea for answers all at once. The world waits, uncertain for what comes next. News spreads quickly, but answers remain elusive. This is not peace. It's the sound of a global system on pause, a reminder of how connected and vulnerable we all are. And everyone, everywhere, feels its weight. The silence in Anchorage echoes across continents, a shared unease that binds us all. Alaska isn't just a vast, remote wilderness tucked away in the far north. It's actually the center of the global flight map, a hidden linchpin in worldwide aviation. Anchorage's unique location makes it a vital crossroads for international air travel and cargo, connecting continents in ways few realize. Flights between Asia and North America depend on this hub for quick refueling stops and essential crew changes, saving both time and fuel. Anchorage is consistently ranked among the world's busiest cargo airports, powering the engines of e-commerce, manufacturing, and global supply chains. Without Anchorage, the steady flow of goods between continents is suddenly disrupted, causing ripple effects across industries. The shutdown severed a primary artery of global trade and travel, halting the movement of both products and people. Airlines and logistics companies scrambled to find longer, costlier routes, burning more fuel and losing precious time. The intricate dance of global aviation was thrown into chaos, with delays and confusion rippling across the world. Passenger flights connecting Asia and the US were also hit hard, stranding thousands of travelers far from home. The airport's legendary efficiency keeps people and goods moving. When it stops, the world truly feels the impact. The silence in Anchorage wasn't just local, it echoed across continents, affecting businesses and families everywhere. The crisis revealed Alaska as an essential pillar of our interconnected world, a silent force behind global commerce. When this crucial hub goes quiet, the world listens and waits for the heartbeat to return. The shutdown was a wake-up call, reminding us that Alaska is, in many ways, at the very heart of it all. The effects of the shutdown rippled out in hours, sending shockwaves through every corner of the globe. What began as a sudden halt in air travel quickly spread, disrupting the very foundation of international commerce. American factories slowed to a crawl as critical parts from Asia stopped arriving, leaving assembly lines eerily silent and workers uncertain about their future. Just-in-time manufacturing, once praised for its efficiency, was suddenly exposed as fragile and vulnerable, unable to cope with even brief interruptions. Airlines scrambled to reroute flights, adding hours and unexpected costs, while some routes simply became impossible to operate overnight. Passengers found themselves stranded across continents. Airline schedules collapsed, leaving thousands in limbo and airports filled with confusion and frustration. Financial losses mounted by the hour as companies watched their profits evaporate and employees faced growing uncertainty. For consumers, prices rose sharply and deliveries slowed to a trickle. Fresh produce and electronics became rare sights on store shelves, fueling anxiety. The invisible network of air cargo, usually taken for granted, was suddenly visible in its absence, highlighting its crucial role in daily life. Small businesses and remote communities, especially in Alaska, were hit hard, facing shortages and economic hardship as supply lines broke down. Mail, food, and medical supplies were cut off, seafood exports spoiled at the docks, and essential goods failed to reach those who needed them most. The pain wasn't just corporate, it was personal, local, and global, touching families, small businesses, and entire communities everywhere. The shutdown proved that a problem in one corner of the world can quickly become everyone's problem, revealing just how interconnected we all are. Our globalized world is only as strong as its weakest link, and when that link breaks, the consequences are felt by all. The crisis exposed a critical vulnerability in the global supply chain. Anchorage's efficiency made it an Achilles heel. One shutdown, and the system faltered. Modern logistics often rely on a few key hubs, creating single points of failure. When Anchorage stopped, the entire network suffered. Companies scrambled for alternatives. Sea freight was too slow, other air routes too limited. Bottlenecks and delays spread everywhere. The lesson was clear: efficiency without resilience is risky. Businesses and governments began rethinking their strategies. Diversification and redundancy, more routes, more hubs, more local inventory, became urgent priorities. These changes cost money, but the cost of disruption was far greater. The Alaskan crisis proved that resilience isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. The world learned the hard way: build for the unexpected. The shutdown echoed the silence of September 11th, 2001. That day changed aviation security forever. This crisis revealed new vulnerabilities. The threat in Anchorage wasn't about hijackings, it was about the security of our cargo lifelines. Past events like the Icelandic volcano eruption showed how quickly regional crises become global. Each incident exposed gaps and forced adaptation. After 9/11, we hardened passenger security. After Iceland, we improved disaster response. Now the focus shifts to protecting supply chain hubs. The Alaskan shutdown will drive new investments in cargo security and intelligence. Resilience requires constant evolution. Each crisis is a lesson. The silence in Anchorage demands we rethink what we protect and how. At dawn, the Department of Homeland Security closed Alaskan airspace. Only military flights allowed. Thousands of passengers faced chaos, flights canceled, planes held, terminals locked down. Security forces swept the airport, establishing a tight perimeter. The threat was real, and the response was massive. Inside, travelers felt both reassured and trapped. Cell networks jammed as people tried to reach loved ones. Hotels filled instantly. Terminals became makeshift shelters. Airport staff and volunteers distributed blankets and food, but resources ran thin. Uncertainty was the hardest part. No one knew how long it would last. Rumors spread, fueling anxiety. Authorities slowly organized buses to shelters and set up information desks. Communication was patchy, tension high. The shutdown was a human crisis, a test of patience and endurance. For thousands, it was a nightmare with no clear end in sight. The shutdown became an international incident overnight. Foreign governments demanded answers. The U.S. stayed silent, citing security. This secrecy strained relations with key trading partners. Domestically, leaders faced pressure to act, balancing security with economic pain. The event sparked fierce debate: more security or risk economic damage? Alaska's sense of isolation deepened, but communities pulled together. Neighbors checked on each other, shared resources, and supported the stranded. The crisis revealed both fear and resilience. Internationally, rivals questioned America's reliability as a global anchor. Some called for new trade routes to bypass U.S. territory. The political fallout threatened to outlast the shutdown itself. Rebuilding trust would require careful diplomacy. The world's confidence in the global system had been shaken. Behind the headlines were thousands of personal stories. Kenji Tanaka, a Japanese businessman, watched his company's future slip away from a shelter in Anchorage. A young couple's dream wedding became an improvised ceremony thanks to local kindness. Alaskans brought food, clothes, and comfort to stranded travelers. Fishermen hosted a free salmon bake when they couldn't export their catch. Airport workers became unsung heroes, working double shifts to help others. Acts of compassion, big and small, held the community together. In the face of chaos, humanity shone through. These moments reminded everyone that even when systems fail, people step up. The crisis was endured not just through logistics, but through kindness. As Anchorage's runways reopened, the silence left lasting lessons. The shutdown was a global stress test, exposing deep vulnerabilities. Efficiency alone isn't enough. We must build for resilience. Relying on a single hub is dangerous. Diversification is essential. Governments and industries must invest in alternative routes and redundancy. Clear communication and international cooperation are vital in a crisis. Our interconnected world demands trust and transparency. Most importantly, the crisis showed the power of human connection. In the end, it was community and compassion that saw people through. Let the memory of the Alaskan silence inspire us to build a world that is secure, adaptable, and united.